Good morning, everyone. Welcome back again. This is episode 20, Foxridge Philately, and I'm recording this just the day after episode 19. So this morning is Saturday, February the 14th, and I thought I would, while my mind was still on it, I thought I'd do a part two of looking at some of the to-do pile. And you can see the piles here, and this, I think, is getting pretty close to the end of the to-do piles. I've gone through a lot downstairs. I mentioned last video, this is one box I brought up from downstairs that I haven't gone through yet. You can see it looks like there's a lot of covers and first aid covers in there and some other odds and ends. So I'm really not sure what's in that box at all. These piles over here, I have gone through quickly in the past, but I haven't looked at them for quite some time. So I need to do probably some more sifting and sorting there. So that's what I'm going to look at this morning and in this episode. And I certainly won't be showing you all of this because that could take all day if I wanted it to, really. But I'll give you maybe an overview of a couple of these stacks, and we'll take a look here at that too. So, to give you an idea what it's like outside, pretty much like it was yesterday. A beautiful sunny day out there right now. You can see blue sky. There's the backyard. We went for a quick walk on the trails up through the hill there, but it is bloody cold here with the wind chill. I think the wind chill was around minus 21 or so this morning. That's Celsius. So we didn't go too far, and part of the reason not going far as well, besides all the crusty snow and cold weather, is I'm not feeling 100%. So I'm hoping not coming down with something just a little bit off. That being said, let's just dive right into this. If you just give me a moment, I'll clear some things off and we'll take a look at some things. Okay, again, quickly, but these are some new items to me from a philatelic friend in Connecticut, and we do quite a bit of exchanging back and forth and developed quite a nice relationship, and I really enjoy that. So thank you, Art. There's some Machins here, of course, that I'll add to my Machin 101 collection, because I don't have hardly any at all, of the regional issues, including the Scottish ones. So I'm looking forward to adding those in. And you may know I have a topicals going of foxes on stamps. So whenever he sees a fox on stamps, he sets it aside for me. And some more Machins for me to go through there as well. And a couple other things that he had put in here too. And these are quite nice sheets. Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. And I've just got a few sheets in there all together. And he threw this in too, which I quite like, because I want to start a topical on James Cook. And so it's a nice little blurb here. And you can see the stamps are on there. Canceled Anchorage, Alaska, 1978. So first day of issue. And some of the older, I'll say older, not terribly old, but some of those fun definitives here, whole sheet to look at as well. And I do have a USA album, which I have not done anything with, but I'll get to that for sure. And another YouTuber that I follow and really enjoy, hopefully you do too, is Ken Collect Stamps, as well as the Spellman Museum that he volunteers at. They also have a channel that he is often featured on too. So he's got some things in here that I need to go through that Ken had sent me a while back. And some more 102 cards. And some pretty good catalog value here. And I do have a Netherlands collection. So I'll have to check whether these are duplicates for me or not, and if they are, what I'm going to do with the duplicates. Because yeah, see, there's some fairly good catalog value. In Ireland, I have the Davo albums for Ireland up to 2000, but not post 2000, and I may pick them up at some point. But these are some Ireland stamps that I had purchased along the way because I quite like them, and I do like Ireland, of course. So I'll have to decide at some point, as I said, whether I'm going to add to the Davo albums of Ireland or not. Davo albums are pricey, but they sure look nice. Or whether I'll just put these in Vario sheets. Some Ireland stuff there. And same with Faroe Islands. Celebrating Northern Ireland, so a mini sheet there. Oh, and Port Williams Railway Mail Drop. This was, these are made up. This is Canada on there. Canada no longer does this, unfortunately. I think they stopped last year, where you could make personalized stamps, and we made these up for a stamp show for the local stamp club. I don't think the stamp show ever went ahead. I think COVID kicked in around then. But nice little booklet, and there's some Antarctic Ireland in there, I think. Or showcasing the Antarctic. Shackleton. Shackleton was Irish. And some Irish mini sheets. Some more Ireland things that I've accumulated. And some first day covers that I would have ordered from Ireland Post. It's because I liked them. And Kennel Club, these are Great Britain. And I wonder if there's a Border Collie on here or not. Can't quite tell. And I think there is a Border Collie sticking into there, which is a dog we have now. So that's probably why I picked that up. When I was in London, not quite 2 years ago, I was at Stanley Gibbons. And of course, King Charles was just brand new. And so I was happy to pick those up there. And then here I have some Ireland sheets as well. It's a nice Shackleton one. And the, yeah, that's Wright Brothers there. We were actually at the spot when I was in Ireland in 2014 where, oh shoot, Elcott and Brown, is that the right name? I'm sure somebody will correct me. Where they had crash landed in kind of a boggy area in Connemara. And that was the transatlantic flight, first transatlantic flight, which is pretty cool to be there. And just some of these mini sheets. Oh, there's a nice Dracula one there. Of course, I was at Castle back in November. So it'd be nice to have a Dracula topical perhaps at some point, since I've got kind of that connection now. So yeah, just lots of Irelands here in various sheets. This is one that I picked up, the omnibus set. I got this at Stanley Gibbons too, so you can see what it was in British pounds. 164 stamps. A bit of a splurge, but I was treating myself in London at Stanley Gibbons. Trying to be careful and not bend these, but give you an idea. The entire set is here. And a couple of Doctor Who's. Suzanne, my partner, is a big Doctor Who fan. I gotta be honest, I don't quite get the fascination of Doctor Who, but those who love Doctor Who really love Doctor Who. So I grabbed those just kind of for fun too. So that's that folder quickly. Excuse me a moment. And I don't even know what's in here. Oh yes, this is from philatelic friend, and I think it was BC, Dan or Daniel. So thank you, Dan. And I know nothing about Chinese philately and Chinese stamps. So I'm really quite interested to get into these a little bit and do some learning. And he sent me some informational catalog that'll help with that too. I won't flip through all of them. And he sent me some Cuba too, which I'm quite curious about. Yeah, so thank you, Dan, for this. Let's see, they're sprinkled in here and there. So that's what was in that folder, and I wasn't even sure, and that's all China there. Okay, great. And a pile of stuff in here. Not even sure what that tag is supposed to be. I think I showed that perhaps in yesterday's video too. That's still sitting on top of a pile. Yeah. So anything with a map on it, I'm always interested in for my Maps on Stamps topical. So whoops, just lost a cover down the side there. I'll get that after. So lots of covers here. So I'll have some fun with those. And of course, let's pick Pitcairn Islands, Bounty Cruises. That would connect to, clearly, James Cook. And I have an Antarctic topical collection that I purchased from a friend. So these, at some point, I could add into that. So anything that had a connection to the Antarctic, I set aside in here for now, too. I've got a friend, not a stamp collecting friend, but a friend who does a lot of traveling globally, and right now he is in the Antarctic doing an Antarctic expedition. His photos are being posted on the socials, and it's pretty awesome to see those because he is an amazing photographer. Yeah, see, I'm not even sure what all I've got in here, but I set them aside because I didn't want to just see them disappear in a box lot somewhere. So, yeah. So some nice old covers, a few postcards, etc. Plymouth, Massachusetts, Plymouth Rock, 1620. Canceled 1946. Oops, excuse me. More covers of interest here. And first day covers, map oriented, skipping through a bunch. And there's that could be, of course, from my Maps on Stamps, Cardophilately, topical or in the Antarctic collection. Yeah, I saw this and said Mr. W.A. Shackleton, so I'm just curious, want to check that up, see if there's any connection to the Ernest Shackleton or not. That's why I had that. And I found that, I think, yesterday or the day before, so I set that in there. Tonga. And then some, this is New South Wales. And there's one up there too. They possibly could have some value here. I don't know my New South Wales well, so I'm keeping those so I can do some research on them. And they're just a smattering of them throughout here. Australia, New Zealand, more of the Australian territories, what those are. And what do we have here? It's hard to see these glasses. Oh, that's Dutch East Indies, I would say. Yep, some Dutch East Indies here. And yep, more Dutch East Indies. There's more on the back, but I'll continue on. These are all Dutch East Indies. And the whole package here of France. Those tax stamps, I have to look those up. They're all here in one large kind of pile. Yeah. Well, more investigating to do. This is catalog value of $40. So that's probably why I stuck that in that pile. And some Denmark sheets. I'd love to travel to Denmark. And I'm not even sure what's in that envelope. We'll check that out another time. And I think, yeah, this is Denmark sheets. 8 sheets, 100 on each. Quite a high catalog value. Oh, yeah. So the definitives, very well known definitive series. Wow, sheets upon sheets of them in there. That's that envelope. Excuse me again. Piles and piles, eh? And this is, I know on top here, these are just a few things I've set aside of Canada. I don't actively collect Canada, although I do have the albums for them. And yeah, I live in Canada, but I guess perhaps because of that, they don't interest me as much, because to me, it's not a big deal. But I did set these aside because, of course, the Queen has passed, so I wanted to have those as a keepsake booklet. And I think Canada Post did a really nice job on the design of this. So I got the booklet, I got little corner blocks of that, as well as the larger sheet, which is quite beautiful. Put those back in. And the famous John McCrae in Flanders Fields poem. Like many countries, Canada does, every November, does a tribute to the past. and the veterans, and there's a different theme each year. There's a famous photograph. Wait for me, Daddy. And a few covers in here. Some Ireland postcards, more Ireland odds and ends. Jersey. There might be something on here that I could add to my Ireland collection. Yeah, I'll have to check these. I do have a number of the early Irish Free States, but I don't have them all, so perhaps I can fill in an empty spot or two. These ones I suspect are all duplicates for me. And just some nice series here from Jamaica. And it's got a map on the inside, Columbus Quincentenary. 3 parts to that. Map on stamps. World War II, those are. I won't take them out of the glassines. There's a few of them in there. And some more odds and ends of Canada, I think, that I'd kept. Pierre Trudeau, who was the father of our current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau was Prime Minister a couple of times, including most recently would have been the early 80s. And he has passed. And some more Canada in here. Excuse my fingers, I know. Group of 7. Famous artists. US. Skipping through. Southern Rhodesia. Belgian Congo. The history of the Belgian Congo really interests me as well, and I've done some reading on it and what happened there when it was Belgian, a Belgian colony. Pretty brutal history, really. Kenya and Uganda, Tanganyika. Just random ones, various sheets here. Zimbabwe. French colonies, 03 to 48. Yeah. Niger. French Oceania. Gabon. Excuse me, I know it's not great to quickly flip through like that on the camera. Madagascar. Really nice looking stamps, actually. Guyana, that's a often seen set. And then there's another stack in here of more odds and ends. There's another queen set there. Wow. Okay, so lots there to check out. Excuse me, I've already piled a few of these back on top carefully. As carefully as I can. Make some room. There we are. Excuse me. Move these out of the way. This is already going longer than I wanted to. No surprise. Okay, perhaps that box that I hadn't looked through yet, I'll wait on that for another time. And we can take a flip through just together to see what we can find in there for some treasures. And did I show you these ones? Yeah, I think perhaps I did. No, maybe not. These are a number of covers that I had set aside. Some of them are Captain Cook. Some of them related to maps on stamps. Famous Bluenose from right here in Nova Scotia on the South Shore of Lunenburg. Some people consider the early Bluenose stamp from Canada the most beautiful stamp ever produced. It's highly sought after in Isle of Man. And more maps on stamps, Namibia, Jersey, and so on. Christmas Islands. There's a James Cook themed map. Isle of Man, etc. Ethiopia. I mentioned Ethiopia yesterday too. That's a country of interest of mine. This is from my friend in Connecticut, just covering up his name and address there. And with each of his covers, I always keep them, so I haven't put these in sheets yet, but just kind of neat little keepsakes. I'm not sure why I have that. And there's a New Zealand involvement in Antarctica. That could be added to that topical. Just some more odds and ends here. So yeah, there's still lots to sort through and to figure out what I'm going to do. These are New Zealand, and my New Zealand album likely has all of these, but I'll have to check those at some point. As I was saying in yesterday's episode, this has kind of been a project of mine lately, is to go through all of these extra bits and take out what I really want and set those aside and figure out ultimately what to do with them. But the other things I'll have to rehome or find homes for, and there's lots of that. So I've been purging some of that and putting it in local stamp auctions and so on. That's been very helpful. So I can kind of refocus things a little bit. This is from that box that I don't know what's in it, so I'm not going to go through these right now, but these are clearly Faroe Islands annual collections. Faroe Islands has beautiful stamps, and that's another place I'd love to get to someday in my life. I was in Iceland last year, and it was spectacular. The Faroe Islands looks just as beautiful. All right, so hopefully you had some fun with that. And I'll have to go through that other box another time, perhaps. This video's been long enough. And maybe you saw some things in there of interest. I'd be curious to hear from you what some of your side projects are, what your piles are looking like, and what your strategy is too for going through those things that you just get and that tend to accumulate. And you get to a point where I think you got to do something with them. And that's where I'm at. So enjoy your collecting as well. I'm going to try to stay warm and just take it easy today and rest my body a little bit. Take good care.